in some case, if you have friends coming in a party in your place, in your house, and if this there's a person whom you had to invite him, you had to invite him, but he is very tough, he or she, very the toughest visitors for you. So you would do your best. So in that way, maybe I don't know if it fits my answer, but so it's like our mind also has different thoughts, but it is always good to have let these thoughts coming. Don't block it. It's very much like the Western culture, that expressionism, and what is the best way to deal with that is, like Sogyal Rinpoche says, be spacious always. And for example, if you want to graze sheep, great cattles or something, the best way to graze them is give them a very big field, and that's the way to keep them happy. So in that way, all our negative emotions and thoughts, there are many things like that which it is natural to have. The best way to be is to be very open to everything. Just be very flexible, give it a big space, and then you wouldn't, if you give a big space, it means very broad-minded, not to stick on little things, which is very human nature, So in that way, you can be still fine in your toughest time in life.
Yeah, I think that's true, because you can see all the negative things and you can get depressed as well, but it's no use. You can get unlucky, but it's no use. So
Yeah.
but if you can see the positive sides, it's you can be much more happy.
Yeah, I always have some discussions with some of my Belgian friends here. Maybe it's many Tibetans looking that way, or it's just me, but if you have two roads, one is you have two issues in your life, which is one is many bad qualities or things that you in yourself that you have, and then very good qualities, or it can be also many. So you don't have to always try to think and clear the bad parts, and you can. For me, it's the best way is to concentrate on your good parts, good characters,
to make those parts
stronger, and then these negative parts will disappear itself. But many people think I have to figure this out, these bad parts, and they go to psychologists and things, and then they become sometimes unfortunate that they really get some crisis, because it is difficult at itself is a difficult part, which is, you call it bad parts, So you have to be very, very strong and very, very wise to handle these whole bad parts. So if you are not very that wise, so try to go on this good parts, and then you can easily handle those things, because it is good itself. I can understand some people can say you are hiding your bad parts, but it is not necessary to focus always on bad parts, because that's, as I always say, we are not Buddha, so we cannot handle all these bad parts. That's why we suffer sometimes. So if you focus on good parts, you will see these bad parts as a small part. They become
it's not that important.
Yeah, they become very unpowerful, They don't become very strong to you. That's why when we have some problems in Tibetan culture, when we have some big problem, we look at this problem and then analyze it, and then figure out what is the cause and what can be the result. So if you look at that way, and then with your good characters that you try to look at that way, and then this problem becomes a smaller, you can look on that. Otherwise, if you dive in it, and then this problem becomes very big and it will dominate you, and then you have to be very lucky to get out of it.
I read a book where the Dalai Lama spoke himself about Buddhism, and he said himself that you don't have to believe what I say.
Yeah.
You have to be very critical to what I say myself, and that's also, I think, something that goes through the whole thing of Buddhism, that you don't read it and say, okay, it's like that, because it stands there. You have to think yourself if it's true, or experience it.
Analyzation, we call it, yeah. But that's what Buddha said also. I think that's why Buddhism is very accepted nowadays worldwide, because Buddhism is not something that we have to follow forcefully or anything, because Buddha has told that this is what I have found, the truth in ourselves for every beings, and that is how I've experienced, and I'm showing the path, the road, but you can just always experience it, experiment, and then first learn it, and then meditate on it, or meditate in the sense nothing, and to think over it, and then say it, or try to find the result, if it really is true or not. So we always have the analyzation process, Tibetan Buddhism, yeah. And that's how it has grown so far, because even Tibetan monasteries, we have these Buddhist dialectics, we call them. So it's very debating. They do in this posture that they always ask questions and answers. One could go against Buddha and things, and then the other monk can say in favor of Buddhism, and so it's in a way training the mind if it is really right or not just blind faith, So we have always questions and answers. So Dalai Lama always says that whatever I'm saying, you have to think, and then if it really suits you, then practice it. And he always said that's why we have different religion, which is very necessary also. It is not good to have one religion, because we are different people, so we like different things, So some, like for Muslim people, Buddhist way of practicing spiritual things doesn't fit them, or for Catholic people, for them it fits more Jesus way. So for us, we feel more easy with Buddha, so
it's like you can believe in Catholic and Buddhism at the same time. It's
also
no
yes.
problem.
Yeah, that's a very good way of looking at it, to accept everything. That is how we also, it's kind of very basic Buddhist teachings, to be open and to look every human being as that's one of the basic things. That's how Tibetan Buddhism says everybody has been once your mother in one's lifetime, so we are all brothers and sisters. So if you look at it in that way, then you feel the same with everybody. Like Dalai Lama himself says, He's Dalai Lama now. Before Dalai Lama, he was a Tibetan, and before Tibetan, he's a human being. So, being a Dalai Lama, he has a responsible of whole Tibetans, and when he's being a monk, he has the responsibility to follow Buddhist teachings, and then to teach people how to good things about life. And then to be a human being, he has the whole responsibility of whole humanity, whole human beings in this whole world. So in a way, when he says he's just a simple human being, in that way he takes a big responsibility. So it's very nice to have that idea, which he has always took it like that.
Okay. Have a good day again.
Ask some spiritual questions to him.
Okay.
How much circumambulating you do? How many rounds you take?
My long 3, 1 day, 3.
Every day you do three times
3 times
circle?
do, yeah, morning.
Morning,
Yeah. This ginger, yeah.
And this is 1 kilometer, I think, yeah? One round is
So long, 3, man, 3. Keep it up 3 kilometers.
Really?
Yeah.
this is whole
And
one
how old are you?
Yeah.
How old are you?
My
age.
80. Is
Your age? How old? How many years you have lived?
Look at this, sir.
73, sir.
73.
He is 73 years old.
Yeah, 73.
It's amazing he can speak English because
Yeah, it's very good to speak English.
A little.
Amazing, yes?
Yeah, little. No school go. Little.
he says no school going, little English.
English.
But he-
All people have it.
Where did you learn English?
English. Long day. All people. Okay.
Talking with
Talking with people.
Yeah, to this coming English. Okay. Okay.
And-
Yeah.
And Dharamsala क्यों हुआ? Are you happy?
Dalai Lama, all the people do together. Good.
You are happy in Dharamsala?
Very long time.
Are you happy here?
Happy.
Like it here in
Yeah.
Dharamsala?
Dharmsala. Kanda sa lucky.
Happy. Dharamsala क्यों हुआ
Ah,
ऐसा?
very good.
Very good.
Good. Sun good. Very hot. Very good. All people. Okay.
True.
He says-
I like it also very much.
Oh, very thank you.
We said, are you happy in Dharamsala? He says, yes, the sun is good. And
That's for the prayers.
Yeah, this money. Om money pema home. Money pema old man get own money pema home. Long your money sa. Ayo,
no, she says in Tibet there is not much old Tibetan people because most of them are dead. They die and many of them are imprisoned. So she came from Tibet, recent kind of, and then she's surprised how many old Tibetans are here, old people. No, can't get the burning pain with that.
Ngan money. Ngan ton de la nge chue de ba.
No,
Nene pele ma ki me ni ke na.
and
Kin ton daram sa lo ka de sa ke go ma ngon dos. Ngan ton pele ko ngan che yo ma res.
Ale punya yang macam ni lah kita
Na ke no na ni shi ni ne. In ke me kan de la ye me ren ga ni. Tashi le tang ma re sa re ne tseng gan le chu yo re sa.
many of them, the Tibetans who are old people in Tibet, they are old. They let them hung. They kill them by hunger, and then many of them are suicide. And then she's crying, and they're crying. Yeah.
How are women seen in your culture?